Need for Speed is a series most of us grew up on, whether the first game you played was Need for Speed 3 Hot Pursuit, Underground, or 2 Unflushed. To best describe the series, let's use this 25-year-old genuine Sparko seat as an example. Now, as you can see, there's a couple of tears here and there, with quite a few particles fermented deep into the seat. And that can be drawn to the numerous fecal funnies that Need for Speed has made recently. To best describe how we got to today, let's go ahead and jump all the way back to the ancient time of the 1990s. You know what time it is. Boxy, curvy 90s cars, retro wave, and motherfucking roof Koreans, baby. The first generation of Need for Speed games featured car lists consisting of high-end sports cars all the way up to supercars, which vastly differed from the second generation of Need for Speed games, which had a little bit more of a mixed bag with a heavy influence on customization and tuners. Now, these first two generations of Need for Speed games show quite a big contrast in terms of direction, quality, and theme when compared to the last two generations of Need for Speed games, where EA decided to say, hey, how about I shit in my hand and throw anything and everything at the wall. At the beginning of the third generation of Need for Speed games, which I like to call the what the fuck era. After the Underground era's departure in 2008 with Undercover, things started getting about as weird as my kinks.
Love you, baby.
From 2009 to 2011, Need for Speed made 6 different games made by an orgy of 4 different game developers. And in this time span, we got a really fucking weird Need for Speed game in Nitro, 2 unnecessary simulators, an MMORPG cash grab, and Need for Speed The Run, which was Black Box's last Need for Speed game before EA took him out to the parking lot to shoot him in the dome with a 9mm glizzy in 2013.
Sussy bata.
And that brings us to Generation 4, the Ghost Criterion era, or what I like to call the what the fuck era V2. Honestly, looking back on it, the first leg wasn't too bad. Hot Pursuit 2010 is probably one of the best Need for Speed games of all time and is really fun, which takes cues from the Cops and Racers era of the mid-90s to early 2000s and modernizes it with weapons like it's Call of Duty.
Oh my god!
Most Wanted 2012 was also not bad. There's nothing really to complain about it other than the fact that it takes an unnecessarily heavy influence from Burnout, but it featured the best multiplayer in any Need for Speed game hands down. Argue with me. I dare you. Look like a fucking idiot. And in 2013, things took a deep dive off of a steep-ass cliff with positive praise from game reviewers and positive test results for chlamydia after playing this piece of shit. Rivals netcode was fucking awful, the physics decided to just stop working, and it was riddled with game-breaking glitches. Need for Speed Rivals, everyone. From what we're told in 2015, Need for Speed the game was supposed to be a realignment for the series, solidifying a theme going into the future, and we got exactly what the fuck we've been bitching and moaning and crying about for fucking years, baby. Except, Cop AI had troglodyte brain, Racer AI was not difficult at fucking all, and the physics felt like hairy oiled up ass cheeks. And not good hairy oiled up ass cheeks. In 2015, we saw the most customization we've seen in any Need for Speed game in almost a decade, with plenty of things to do from the prestige mode, the reintroduction of all drive, competitive multiplayer and speedless, a DLC story, cars and customization added for free, and a fucking godlike atmosphere that, getting me aroused thinking about it. With Payback, Marcus Nilsson was like, that's quite strange. Well, why is Need for Speed spelled differently? And nuked the entire fucking thing. The handling model was just a fixed version of 2015's. Spoiler alert, dumbass. It was still hairy oiled up ass cheeks. They took out all drives, still had a shitty netcode, added loot boxes, no free roam cops, lifeless atmosphere, worse graphics, broken car meta, and the introduction of off-roading, which completely contradicts the whole street racing focus thing just one game after 2015 for this shitty fucking excuse for a Walmart brand Fast and Furious game. In 2019, we got probably the best idea for a Need for Speed game in years, with the most potential ever, just for Ghost to shit all over it. They reworked the physics model from the ground up, added a thoughtful amount of performance customization just for the handling model to be eaten alive by an unknown force called fucking world clipping. Need for Speed Heat came out in 2019, but it looks like it came out in 2008 with these shitty ass graphics. What is this? They branded the game as like an Underground and Most Wanted successor, and yet they still pointlessly add in fucking off-road cars. The cops are the most intelligent and hostile they've been in years, just for them to be easily outran by a maxed out car and also appearing game-breakingly invisible. The league was hyped up as some big badass street racing crew with a bunch of big-dicked or big-clitted individuals, for it to never be expanded on in the storyline, nor making it useful toward the game's atmosphere at all. Ghost knew how much people enjoy competitive multiplayer, so you know what they did? They're like, meh, let's take that shit out. We moan about limited event selection being restricted to sprint circuits and drift trials, and yet your poor dumbass can't even play with your manga-obsessed neck-bearded friend Henry because Ghost thought taking away the ability to do co-op drift events was necessary. Oh, so you want to do competitive racing with any car you have? Well, that sucks, fucko, because you're restricted to the same fucking few meta cars. And guys, they finally did it. They finally fucking did it. They finally made an iconic Need for Speed car, just for them to trash it into the fucking Atlantic 8 minutes into the game and never seeing it again. What the fuck, man? Do you understand the point I'm trying to make? Loads of great ideas were able to grace the physical game, giving it loads of potential, but was executed with as little brain power as my Mazda fucking Miata. Even though I think Need for Speed 2015's closed map is the best map of all time, Need for Speed Heat's map had so much detail put into it, it's pretty impressive, to be honest. About as impressive as the size of my penis. What's going on there, little guy? We went through the majority of the 2010s watching countless James Charles makeup tutorials and watching unfunny, is that a Supra? Videos without getting a competent, unbroken Need for Speed game. And that's why I think the series is about as dead as the bodies that I like having relations with. Hey bro, all I'm saying is that cold pussy be hidden. So it doesn't take a brain surgeon to understand, hey fucko, we're not getting a Need for Speed game this year. It's because Criterion Games, who are making the next Need for Speed game by the way, are helping DICE, a roster of 700 game developers, to help them with fucking Battlefield, and pushing back the next Need for Speed game to 2022. So the last Need for Speed game flopped tremendously with how incomplete it was and how little love it was given, just for EA to kick that little sub 50 IQ minion to the side for a whole 3 years. The reason why I think this is an issue is because I think it's really hard to reestablish momentum when you have 3 years between one of your worst executed games and the next one. So Criterion, if you're here, listen the fuck up. And, well, if you're not, well, I'm gonna tell you, pretty fuckers, how I think Need for Speed can make a game about as beautiful as Steve Buscemi's facial structure. Sprint races, circuit races, and drift trials are not enough. And I've been saying this since fucking 2016. Hey bro, all I'm saying is, if you guys steal hero cars, you might as well steal the events too. Also, get rid of these fucking cars that no one asked for. It's really not hard to think of some highly requested cars that you guys can potentially grab a license for. Rework the entire physics and please fucking work this time. And rebalance all of the cars because I'm so fucking exhausted of seeing the same meta cars being mandatory for use in high-level competitive multiplayer. Multiplayer modes. Firstly, for the love of God, please keep all drive with open events and free roam. Next, re-add speed lists for competitive racing. And I think it would be cool to see the introduction of a minigames tab for online multiplayer with shit like cops versus robbers, kind of like the mode from Undercover. And who doesn't love some elementary modes such as Infected and King? Because I know my horny ass does. Also, it doesn't hurt to add in some class-restricted events to encourage racing across multiple power levels. Give police chases more of a purpose by involving it in the game's progression like Most Wanted and Undercover.
What the dog doing?
An example of this is getting 700k cost of state in one pursuit, all while carrying 500 pounds worth of dildos in the backseat, baby, up top. Controversial opinion alert. Controversial opinion alert. Controversial opinion alert. I think open maps boring. Need for Speed is supposed to encapsulate underground car culture, so let's get rid of all of the fucking off-roading bullshit and get rid of the open map, because it's not fucking Forza Horizon, it's Need for Speed. Like I said earlier, Need for Speed 2015's map is the best designed map in any Need for Speed game known to man, and if you disagree, you know, everyone has the right to an opinion. Man, yours is wrong. Give me a closed border map like Need for Speed 2015, with the majority of the map consisting of tight city streets and some mountain roads. And please, 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 this is my most requested thing. Please re-add a prestige mode. Literally, the intense difficulty of prestige mode is the only reason why I have a 500-pound neckbeard amount of hours in 2015. And please buff Racer AI, because after you finish a fucking game, they drive like brain-dead toddlers. Also buff Cop AI based off of progression, because like I said earlier, you can have a maxed out car and yeah, you're leaving those dumbasses in the dust. With the customization, keep everything from Heat, because if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And the only thing broken was, well, A lot of things. And then add aero parts for a lot of cars because, well, here's the thing. Some cars have had the same fucking options for customization since 3 games ago. If you were to add, for example, an S14, the person playing the game should choose whether or not they want a Zenki or Koki S14, similar to how in 2015 you were able to make 11 AE86 or a Trueno AE86. And lastly, rehire my sexy best friends because they help sell the game with their sick ass raps before release and their dope ass photography, which was making me a little aroused again. All right, let's wrap this up because the sweat on my balls is starting to solidify. With EA's recent acquirement of Codemasters, they now have an excuse to not hold Need for Speed as much of a priority anymore. Need for Speed has shown quite a bit of a decline in the past 4 games just through all of the dysfunctional, missing, and overall unfinished features in their games. I've gotten my hopes up for probably the past 7 Need for Speed games just to be disappointed every single time. Do I expect them to make a good game? No. Do I want a good game? You bet your sweet tits I want a good game. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Well, let's fight about it, bitch. Is there anything in particular you want to see, don't want to see? Let me know. Let's have a conversation below. And that's it. I'll leave you guys with this picture. Wow, very sexy.